with liberty and justice for all.
I ask the secretary to take the roll.
Trustee Bartlett.
Here.
Trustee Burke.
Here.
Trustee Checkeye.
Here.
Trustee Dooley.
Here.
Trustee Helvangus is here. Trustee Stirring.
Here.
Trustee Yu.
Here.
Okay, 7 present.
And I'd just like to welcome Trustee Larry Checkeye to the first board meeting. He's filling the vacancy of Kathy Crawford, so you have very big shoes to fill. Larry.
I understand, thank you.
Larry's been on the board before, so he knows how this happens, but I was with Julie as Julie was giving him the onboarding, and I like to be there just to remember all the things I should remember or should know, but it's nice to hear the onboarding.
That big binder,
Yeah,
it
that
continues
big
to stay big.
Julie does such a good job of that.
Yes, it was.
Thank you.
Next item on the agenda is the approval of the agenda.
So moved.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to approve the agenda. Any discussion? No discussion. I'll ask the secretary to take the roll. Take the vote.
Trustee Bartlett.
Yes.
Trustee Burke.
Yes.
Trustee Checkeye.
Yes.
Trustee Dooley.
Yes.
Trustee Helvangus says yes. Trustee Stirring.
Yes,
And Trustee Yu.
Yes.
Motion carries 7-0.
the agenda has been approved. Next item is the consent agenda. The consent agenda consists of two things. The minutes of July 9, 2026, which was a regular board meeting. It also consists of the approval of the claims and warrants for accounts 271 and 272. Those are on pages 16 through 18 of our handout.
Move to approve.
I'll second.
It's been moved and seconded to approve the consent agenda. Any discussion?
I do have a question on the claims and warrants on page, I think it's 17. That charge for the hotspots, is that a monthly charge? It's halfway down. 15.
17. You said page 17?
Yes, which would be the second.
I lost a few of my page numbers.
I know, I see
Yes.
that, yes, I see they got cut off, I apologize.
T-Mobile, China.
Halfway down,
Hotspots.
56
Oh,
hotspots.
I was looking at the
That
wrong
is to, I want to check on that, but I believe that is the charge to get them started, because this is July's accounts. And so that, and we started them this fiscal. So I will double check on that
So
for
it's
you.
like a one-time fee.
Oh, so you mean it might be like a annual
Like,
charge?
it might be just the getting started of the actual subscription of the new one, so I'd like to check on that.
Oh.
Yes.
Wait, so we have 56 new ones?
No, that's a total. Oh, you're right. So that would be the charge of them, 56. Yeah.
Okay, so we. pay
That's
for
the
it
total.
annually. Okay.
Yeah.
For a month or for a year?
That I'll have to check.
Okay,
I'm
okay.
sorry. Yeah.
Okay.
I'll check on monthly versus if that's the startup cost. That's what I want to find out for you.
Okay.
Great.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Any other discussion on the consent agenda? If not, I would ask the secretary to take the vote.
Trustee Burke.
Yes.
Trustee Checkeye.
Yes.
Trustee Dooley.
Yes.
Trustee Helvangus says yes. Trustee Stirring.
Yes,
Trustee Yu.
Yes.
And Trustee Bartlett.
Yes.
Motion carries 7-0.
next on the agenda is always my favorite parts when we have presentations. And today we're honored to have presentations from the Friends of the Novi Library and from the Historical Commission. We'll go with the Friends first. Sue Johnson, from President of the Friends.
Okay. Now, what did I press to get into full screen mode?
Here comes Josh. He's so wonderful.
He told me to, so.
Everybody's laptop's different.
Josh can do everything.
I know. There we go.
There we go.
Thank you, Josh.
Thank you very much. So we had a great year, and I would like to thank the board. Every single board member is a member of the Friends. Yay! Not only that, but you come to our events, you support us at Songfest, you make us wonderful baskets to make money, so we can give it back to you. And you come to Kaleidoscope, you are very, very supportive, and we really thank you for that. It means a lot. And you come to our meetings. That's a, thank you, Tori, Carla. Anyway, and it was a pleasure to participate with you in the 65th anniversary. That was really great, so good times. How did we do this year? Book sales, well, we were down a little, let's see. Overall, we were up $231 in the Book Nook. However, Thrift changed their rules with us. Probably everybody they pick up books from us and ship them to Chicago. So their freight charges changed. And seems like one other component changed. So we're down about $812 from them. We expected that. We're steady in the Book Nook with our sales, and that's good. We do see a reduction in donations just because people aren't buying as many books, but so far we've done well. Membership. This I'm not too happy about since I'm in charge of membership. Our membership has gone down for the first time in many years. We were 8,200 last year, 7,500 this year. So we need to work on that. The problem is you send out emails and people just get so many emails that they get buried. You send people renewal letters. They throw a lot of junk mail away. We do try to make ours nice stationery and quite sturdy, so maybe it sticks out, but still. It's a struggle sometimes to get renewals. Some people, the first of the month, the check's there and you've got it 3 days later. I do send out reminders during the month, but we're going to look at some other ways perhaps to get our membership back. I wonder if one of the issues with membership is last year we got donations of $38,000. Now, that's a lot. I didn't put in here how many last year's was, but I'm guessing it was much less than that. A lot of that had to do with the 65th. We had many people who have IRA accounts donate generously to the youth renovation project. So that was very nice. Long-term friend members now even do their memberships from their IRA. They do donations. I was surprised last week with a $500 donation from a good friend, long-term friend, from her IRA account. So people are coming more to understand that giving to a 501c3 is a benefit on your taxes. So that's very nice. So that may have something to do with memberships. I'm not sure. Fundraisers, we did well. The quilt raffle, you guys probably all, and Julie really wanted that quilt. We made $2,600. We just ate the cost of it and gave the whole $2,600 back to the youth renovation project. So that was nice. Here are all, that's an eye chart. Here are all the year's expenditures for both our annual contributions, which we give every year, and the director's wish list. $17,000 in annual. That's Songfest, which is really pricey and getting more every day. Summer reading, Senior Day, which everybody loves Senior Day. All of us seniors love Senior Day. Raising a Reader. Listen at the Library is mostly Tuesday Tunes and a few concerts here and there. Community Read. is both Community Read and Fox Run. We support them when they bring authors. And I think, did we do a school? We did a school author as well. I think
Actually, it was
middle school.
postponed, I apologize.
Oh.
It was supposed to be and we did not have it.
Okay, I wasn't sure about that. And then we did Battle of the Books. I think we had skipped that last year, but we did it again. We had a very generous donation from a friend, and she wanted to support the things that her children enjoyed, Battle of the Books, summer reading, and she put quite a bit towards the staff as well, in appreciation of the staff. Director's wish list, the 65th, we really did that on a shoestring. That was great. We bought the cake. We shared, the commission and we shared the cost of the musician. And T-shirts, we bought the T-shirts, but overall, it was just a fun time. We didn't spend a lot of money. The glasses that we engraved 65 glasses with our 65th logo, and we already had those. Those were COVID glasses that we ended up not being able to use. In the makerspace, we spent $5,000. The library signs, appreciate these library signs and take very good care of them. We upgraded the meeting room, the microphones in the meeting room. That'll be really nice for Kaleidoscope and all the other events. The Historical Commission, too, can take advantage of that. We did a picnic table for the staff, which is really cool. Another single-user pod for the first floor. That's in there behind the glass cases now. Staff training, that was a day of fun for them to kind of do bonding. So that was all good. Here we go.
I have a new dress.
Oh, wow. The patio, the new table out for lunches for the staff to use is really nice too. And there's, of course, our cake. So, we presented for next year, $58,907. We came up with some of the oddest numbers, don't we? $917. And thank you for Carla and Tori attending our annual meeting and Tori attending our meeting. You got 2 in a row. Wow. We had 2 resignations from the board. You may know Marilyn Amberger, been with the Friends for years. I allowed her to retire. It's just hard to come out at night again after she's very active, and to come out at night again is hard for her. As well as Ann Craig resigned. She did our newsletter, so we're looking at new formats for our newsletter as well, and maybe that will help our membership a bit. So there we all are, looking very happy. And we have the check here, and we can, that's as far back as I know how to get. Okay, all right.
Did you have your suit?
We did this once. You want to tell me? Oh, we should step in front of the sign. We should.
Maybe we should have you all stand like this.
Oh, yes, we should.
Yes, okay.
Well, then you want me to take it to her and then you can.
Yes.
Thank you, Ray.
Good idea. All right, so we'll make sure you.
Super short.
Yeah, you can't, gotta make sure you're not behind anybody.
Yes, Kim.
Okay.
Well, actually, if you go that way, we'll have 3 and 3. How about that?
Okay.
We're over there by Brian, Larry, we'll squeeze this.
Okay, well, Mark is super tall,
Oh,
so I
well,
can
meant
try.
To the outside of him. No, if you come this way, then just make sure you're to the outside. There we go.
Everybody.
Can you?
I can, and the library signs. 1, 2, 3. Okay, you got a couple on there.
Thank you, my dear.
So good organizing, Carla. You like symmetry?
Thank you.
How can we thank you, Sue? I mean, it's every year you do this, and it's great. But just words aren't enough that you're always, what the Friends do for us is just amazing. I mean, not only the checks and the money, but just the support, the activities. Thank you very much personally and for Friends.
And if any of you know anyone who would like to join our Friends Board, we did get a new person.
Hey, that's good.
If any of you know anyone and you're in conversation and saying, wouldn't you always want a friend of the library on the board, we'd love to talk to you.
Okay. For our next presentation, Historical Commission, Kim Neese is the chair and Ray Manella is the library liaison.
Hello, thank you. Yep, I'm the liaison to the Historical Commission for the library, and this is our report. So just as a reminder, our commission members are Kim Nice, Kathy Crawford's still on our commission, Sharon Larson is our treasurer, Randy Van Wagenen, secretary, and Debbie Roble is a member at large. And we have a wonderful volunteer, Sue Griffer, who doesn't live in the city, so she can't serve, but she comes to all of our meetings and helps us with some other programming things. We do have 2 vacant seats for the Historical Commission, so if you know people in the community that want to serve on a commission, you can send them Kim's way. So we often help with library events. They host monthly office hours twice a month, one time during the day for people that can come during the day and one evening. They also partner with the Northville Genealogy Group, who hosts office hours in the local history room once a month. They helped with the library open house in 2025 and senior day, and then the library's 65th anniversary. They were instrumental in that, and Kim helped and came to some extra meetings with the library and Julie to talk about that. And then we try to host 2 document donations days a year. So our last one was in March, and then upcoming, they're going to be helping with library open house again. Senior day again, mostly that's having the room open so that people can come in and explore and ask questions. Usually commission members volunteer for those days, as well as myself, to answer anything people might have from the community. And then we have a document donation day coming up October 10th. October is National Archives Month, so it's a good time to, what I'm calling it, clean out your attic or your basement and bring us things. It doesn't matter how long you've been here in Novi. It could be 1 year, it could be 50 years, 70 years. We would probably take some of what you have, any flyers, church event programming, other things from schools, yearbooks, all that kind of stuff, photographs from parades. If you've got it, we probably want it in the local history room if it took place in Novi.
Hi, everyone. I'm Kim Nice, if you haven't met me before. Just want to talk a little bit about some of the events that we're sponsoring at the library. So our speaker series that we try to do 3 in the fall, and we try to do 4 in the spring. So we did in March, we did a program called A Purse of Their Own, where we were able to have a speaker that talked about women going into careers, which was really interesting. And we did classic Michigan foods again, which was great. And then we had a great Mark Twain speaker. Unfortunately, they were reenactors, and the gentleman was sick in the hospital, so I had 32 hours to find a replacement. We had a wonderful storyteller who came and talked about Mark Twain and all the storytelling that he did. It was fantastic. He does additional programs in case anybody's looking for anything for children. He has about 5 really great educational programs out there. And I'll forward information if anyone's interested. Be great for the schools or even some of the children's programs at the library. So coming in September, we have Forwarding Down the Field about the Detroit Lions, which is a great history story. We have Jeremy Demick coming from the Detroit Historical Society to do that program. And then in October, we're going to do Secret Michigan. So lots of fun facts that no one knows about Michigan. There's great stories. And then November, we have a speaker coming to talk about Clara Ford and Henry Ford and the Ford Fairlane Mansion. So those are going to be exciting. Coming in the spring, we've already have two programs settled already, looking to get 2 more going. A little bit of sports this year, so we're not in 27, so that'll help out. So for each of these events, we try to do a nice display case that's under the stairs for to advertise all the programs. And right now, we're doing a display about America's 250, if you haven't seen it yet. That's been a big hit. And we have really been very thrilled, and I know some of the board members here come to our programs, to see the attendance climbing since COVID. It was really, really hard to not be able to do programs. We tried a couple of them, through Zoom, but now we're filling the seats and we're using the whole meeting room, so that's been fantastic. So that's been great.
Wait, you missed one. You gotta talk about the Dig Up Local History.
Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, that was our big one that we did this year. We normally don't do programming in July, but we partnered on the summer reading program and we did Dig Up Local History. And that was a big hit for families, and the kids had a blast. We utilized, and thank you for the library for utilizing some of the things that we have there. We had a sand table so kids could dig up soldiers and wooden nickels and so forth. And then we highlighted our miniature project. I don't know how many of you have seen the miniature that we've done of Matt Morin's store 100 years ago. We did an I Spy game for that, and the kids really enjoyed it. That was really fun. And then we talked about amusement parks, and we had a game. We highlighted the Walled Lake Amusement Park. And then we had Build the City of the Future. So the kids had building blocks and they put together floor puzzles of the United States. It was really a great program, and we hope to do that maybe on an annual basis, do something in conjunction with the summer reading program. That was held on a Sunday afternoon. Might switch it to a Saturday if that's possible, but we'll think about it, what we can do. Sorry, Ray.
No, you're good.
Okay, so some of the other things that we do in the community is we participate with Tollgate with Pumpkin Fest every year. That's a great opportunity to teach some of the youngsters about Novi's history. It's been really great. And we also, last February, we did a talk on Villa Bar. Kathy Crawford actually did her program at the Wixom Historical Society. It was very well received. They actually gave us a donation for Kathy speaking, which was great. And then we do the city's Community Fest every year. And for the first time, since COVID, we're reaching out to the community for some donations, for some prizes, because we have a game. Every vendor has to have a game. So the kids really enjoyed it, and we enjoyed working with some of the newer businesses in Novi, which was great. And then we're going to be doing Pumpkin Fest again here in October. I think it's October 3rd. We're doing that. And we're going to highlight America's 250 for that event. So that one will be really exciting. And then our biggest event that we do is our Race Across Novi. Last year, we had a great attendance for it. The weather held out pretty well. Sometimes we're there and it's snowing. So we have wonderful sponsors for that event. So the Novi Rotary, O'Brien Sullivan. This year, a new sponsor was the MSU Credit Union. We had Suburban Showplace, the Rotary Club, Vibe Credit Union, ITC, Diversified members, and Varsity Lincoln. We have about 3 or 4 new ones that we're hoping are going to join on with us this year. Begonia Brothers has been a great supplier for the wreaths, and Bush's Market has provided the refreshments for the event every year, which has been great. We really are excited about this year. We're looking to do more with the scouts helping, as well as the veterans that come, the VFW posts, they come and play taps. It's been wonderful. We're looking to get more people involved in the actual ceremony. Unfortunately, because the Novi Road Cemetery is not ADA compliant, it can't be a full community event. It's by invitation only. So we're working on it already. We're starting the fundraising in another week or two, and our new date for this year will be November 14th. So if you're available, come out.
So some other things that they've been working on, as Kim mentioned before, was their miniature project. So they worked with Randy, a member of the commission who's also a teacher at Washtenaw Community College, and he worked with his students to, learn about how to do 3D printing models and things like that. And then they've continued on printing. He's been printing more with students or on his own time, as well as sitting with commission members, painting things, making things look old and rustic, floorboards, and all sorts of stuff. They've been having fun in the yard on a weekly basis sometimes. And they've been able to get it to a point where they can take it out so that people can see it and understand and ask questions about the store. So she mentioned the I Spy game. It's been out at Open House, the 65th anniversary, Senior Day. People really enjoy seeing that model that they've developed.
Get it at Fox Run.
Oh, yeah, they brought it to Fox Run. Very cool. And then the other program that they work closely with me on is the funding an intern each semester, except for summer, in the local history room. That was it to honor Betty Lang, who retired from Novi Public Library. And so far, we've had 4 interns. What they've done is develop finding aids, organized digital files, digitized, processed hundreds of photos. This is all work that we wouldn't be able to do if we didn't have the commission supporting an intern coming in. I don't have the time or the capacity to do the work, and this gives students an opportunity to get some hands-on experience. And unlike other scholarship opportunities in the community, when we give money to these students, whether they're from the community or not, what they're doing stays here. It stays in the local history room. It makes it so that when you have a research question for me, I can find the answer. If we don't organize everything, if we just digitize and there's no organization, I can't help you as an archivist, right? So I can help these students, and then they're helping our community save and preserve its history. We did an inventory recently, myself and some commission members, and looked at what's called the backlog in archives. It's quite extensive at Novi Public Library. There are records in the bowling alley, the storage area, as well as at my desk, and I haven't even been able to touch those because other things come up that need processing sooner. So there are maps, other documents, VHS tapes that needs to be digitized. There is a lot. So speaking of other things that come up that waylay me sometimes and my interns, Kathy Crawford donated a lot of material about her family and her friends and photos from events, through the decades here in Novi. And so we had to process those so that I could give those back to her. Sometimes when someone donates, they want their material back for their family. She didn't want everything back, but I'll talk to her about it. And then we recently took an amazing donation. So if you've gone or live in Simmons Orchard, I now have 4 albums full of documentation, labeled photos, which is rare in archives that someone's taken the time to do the family history of the Simmons family. Dating back, photos and information dating back to the 1800s here in Novi. Now that family wants their stuff back. So I now need to have someone and have the opportunity to process it so that they get their photos back. Now thankfully, the family member who came forward with this and worked with me used to work in an archive, so she understands that these things take time, and I'm in contact with her, and I'll let her know as we progress. She no longer lives in the state, but she does have family here that she visits. So we are in the process of getting interns applying right now for fall, and then I'll have someone come in, and they come in one day a week and do a lot of mundane work for me, but it will eventually lead to more robust potential programming, as well as digital, public access to digital archives. But until I get it organized, I can't make it available to everybody. So that's a big thing that the commission has been helping with. Some updates in the room. I talked extensively about the internship. I also was able to create a request link on the library website. So we had a lot of people they want to use the room, we have limited hours. The commission are volunteers, so when they have office hours, it's limited. I'm also not available all the time to be in there, but you can make an appointment. So I created a link I kind of borrowed from the iCube team so people can make an appointment with me. Or if they don't want to come in and they just want me to do the research for them and email them what I found, they can do that too. So I created that on the library website. Kind of streamline the process for accepting materials. So I have a couple processes. So if you came in and you brought your photos, I'd sit down with you, get a little information, you'd sign a deed of gift. We'd talk about, do you want them back or can I have them forever? That sort of thing. I updated the resources brochure, updated the Coasting the Baseline brochure, which was a David Barr project. So we have a brochure on that in the library. The new microfilm scanner is in there, again, appointment only, but if you happen to have microfilm in your personal collection, you can look at it at the library. And then the city of Novi utilized the local history room to interview, I don't know if you saw it from the city, but a descendant of a signer of the Declaration of Independence. She had done her genealogy work. It was very funny. The city asked me if I knew her. Never met her. She was able to do all her research herself, but she did use library resources. So they interviewed her in the local history room. And that's all we've got for you tonight.
Well, first of all, I want to thank, Kim and Ray, both of you spent a lot of time doing this, and we appreciate what you individually do and what the Historical Commission does. And I've been the beneficiary of some of those meetings and gatherings where the parking lot is full because you're having a meeting that night with one of your presenters. And I mean, they really have a lot of people that are attending these. And to me, it's like sometimes you think of a historical commission. Well, if you're not an archivist or something, you might not really get into it, or you might not. But you're bringing history and making it current and relevant. That I think everybody can enjoy it. You don't just have to want to know what happened 200 years ago or 100, because these events that you plan, you start with history, but it really is current and it's really relative. And I think your attendance is showing how well it's received. Thank you both. And
Thank you. Yeah, we spend a lot of time attending the history conference at OU every year, and we listen to speakers and do research ourselves, and sometimes they even have courses. They're online now, for taking oral histories and so forth. And it's been a great resource to bring better speakers to the forefront for us.
Well, we appreciate it. Somebody else who wants to say something?
If we have things to possibly donate, would you rather us come on Document Day? Or...
Well, I would love for people to come on Document Day.
Because I know you have a backlog of things.
No, I mean, so local history room's not like a traditional archive, so we're kind of always rolling and accepting things. So I can accept things other days, of course, but I host document donation trying to get word out to the public, as well as a touch point day where it's not like, oh my God, I have to run to another meeting. Myself and commission members are right there for an extended period. So that's coming up on a Saturday.
Okay, perfect.
We've played around with different days to see what works for the community.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Somebody here had their hand up. Oh, maybe not. Okay, my mistake. I thought somebody raised their hand.
So,
Larry?
Which signer of the Declaration of Independence?
Do you remember what she said in her video?
I'm trying to remember her name now. It's a blank.
Yeah, I don't remember, but the city's video on YouTube,
It's on YouTube.
She says it.
The descendant is a Novi resident?
I believe so.
Yeah, she's a Novi resident. She never really worked much with. She worked with the high school band quite a bit. She's a photographer. Then she just had done some family research and found out that she was a descendant from one of the signers.
Mm-hmm.
It's not any of the big fellows that we know, not TJ or that we know of. I forget that I can't remember the name. I should have that written down.
Yeah,
It should be in my packet, although my brain's cloudy today. I spent the afternoon at the Crawford home today doing oral histories with Ed Crewall, a former mayor, Gil Henderson, and his wife.
Oh, wow.
And that was interesting.
I can imagine.
Yeah, I had to hear about Novi in 1966, 69, 70. It's quite a place back then, like the Wild Wild West. It was very interesting stories, which we will bring. Pardon me? I was so honored. And out of that, I have already booked 3 oral histories on 3 different subjects with Ed Crewall for very important subjects that we've been trying to get information on, so
Great.
some more detail. So it's been a lot of fun, but again, if you know anyone who wants to join us, it's so hard to do all of this with 5 members. We need 7, so.
Any other comments, questions? Thank you, Kim.
Thank you, and thank you to the entire board and to Julie and her staff for supporting us. We're enjoying it. Thank you.
That ends the presentation for tonight. The next item on the agenda is public comment. In order to hear all citizens' comments at a reasonable hour, the library board requests that the speakers respect the 3-minute time limit. This is not a question and answer session. However, it's an opportunity to voice your thoughts with the library board. Citizens must state their first, last name, and address. For a minute, I thought we had a member from the public speaking. Seeing no one at the podium right now, I guess there's going to be no public speaker, public comment tonight. Moving into the report section of the agenda. Teen report, Julie or Trustee you?
So for matters, back in June, we met to talk about bringing back the student rep position. So we came up with an application process that Director Farkas and myself have looked over along with our library staff. So I'll go a little more into that during matters for board action.
Okay, good.
And then there was a question last month to show last year's teen space usage versus this year, so I did plug in those numbers so you could see a little bit of the difference. I also made a note that we began offering teen space for this year, which was 25-26, for only Monday through Thursday as of February 17th. So you can see a little bit of that decline in the attendance.
I did have a question regarding that.
Sure.
The question, Monday through Thursday, now that we're fully staffed, are we going to go back to Fridays? Including Fridays?
I haven't made that decision yet to go back. We still have a librarian that won't start until mid-September, so that affects that team. We're opening on August 31st with Monday through Thursday at this point, and then we'll go ahead and review it from there. We did find that Fridays were the lowest day of the week. And that's because, it starts the weekend, a lot of sports, especially in the fall with the football games and stuff. There's a lot of activities that the high school does after school. So we'll kind of monitor that and see if we get requests or any needs from the students, and then go from there. But until I actually get full staff with the actual all employees like on site, I'm going to wait.
Anybody questions on the teen representative application in teen space? If not, we'll move into the president's report. First thing I'm going to talk about, and it's on page 23 through 25 of our handout. It's kind of the rules and regulations in regard to closed sessions. I think all of us have been in a closed session, and there's limited reasons that we can go into a closed session. If they're specifically provided for in the statute, then you need a majority of the votes. For the certain other things that are not as explicitly provided in the statute, you need a 2/3 vote. We have done this for a couple years now where we put the closed session on the agenda. And so therefore, when we approve the agenda, we're approving the closed session. So we don't have to, we've taken a vote once and it really covers both things. So it saves us a little bit of time. Really the main thing about the closed session is obviously what's in the closed session is a closed session, confidential. And, but at the end of the closed session, we have to report the results. And that's really the highlights of what the closed session are, the rather limited purposes for it. I think in our case, it's usually the director's review, but it could be for an employment contract, or it could be law enforcement matters, or collective bargaining. But generally, and at least in my history of the library, it's usually for a director's review. So anyway, thought it was worth bringing that up and reminding everybody about the closed sessions and Julie was kind enough to find this somewhere and put it on paper.
It's actually out of your trustee handbook. It comes from the Michigan Libraries Administration.
Any discussion on closed sessions? I will say one thing. Sometimes we interchange the word closed session and executive session.
Yes.
And technically, executive session is not defined. So the better word is closed sessions, but
Yes.
I'm sure we will all make a mistake now and then and call it an executive session.
And Mark, I wanted to make sure too, I've gone back just to make sure, because at one time we actually called it executive session on our agendas, and we changed that a few years back, so I wanted to make sure that we were still keeping that language, and we have been.
Good.
So we're following it. Thank you so much.
Okay. Second item I want to bring up is the state budget. State budget was recently passed. I'm not familiar enough with all the items, obviously, in the state budget, but relative to the library, there was a one-time increase in state aid of $375,000, and there was a one-time contribution to the Michigan E-Library, also of $375,000. So a little bit less than what the ask was for, but those are still rather meaningful contributions that all the libraries in Michigan benefit from. And in part, I think, as a result of some of the reduction from the feds in regard to the E-Library in particular. And then somewhat related to that is the education budget, which is on page, let me double check here, page 27 through 33. This is basically money that the state is spending relative to education. I'm glad to hear it's very supportive of reading and literacy and things of that sort. I know that right now, state as a whole, I think we're very fortunate in the Novi and Northville schools and the Walled Lake District and so forth. But the state as a whole ranks about 45 out of 50 states. And so I hope the money helps, but I think it's going to take more than just money to improve those scores for the kids.
Yes.
That we should not be 45th in the state.
I 100% agree with you, and the reason I put this in, one is because there's a really good connection for us as public libraries, so that hopefully we can do something, with our school district or support in any way if we can, which I will reach out. And then I wanted to just remind all of you that the libraries, public libraries, libraries in general, for our state do fall under the Department of Ed. So we are part of their group.
Umbrella, okay.
Yes. So
Thank
thank you for that. Yep, and I'll keep you posted on things as they come in that I think are relevant for you.
Okay, good. Appreciate
Absolutely.
that. Next thing I just want to mention, board committee assignments are on page 34. Really, the only recent changes were that we had to fill Kathy's spot. Now that Larry is part of the board, those spots that were vacated by Kathy have now been filled, and I moved over from, I took myself off the finance committee because I know Larry's got a good eye for numbers, and put Larry on the finance committee, and I'm on human resources. But the rest was kind of just filling the positions that were vacant, but they're there. The one thing I guess I wanted to note, and maybe I should have said it earlier, on our page 2 of our agenda, where we list the committees, really, Tori, you is the chair of the Building and Grounds. I'm not.
Oh, yes.
Okay, thank you.
And I mean, I think it's in the other one, but this one, I think it's still copied from before when I used to be chair.
Yes, it is. Thank you so much.
See. Then, the last item that I have in the report is kind of the open item that I turn over to the board for any reflections they had, events they went to, events that are coming up that are relative to the library, maybe relative to the library, but I open it up to the board members for them to relate any experience they think may be relevant. So I open it up to the board members if you have anything you want to say. Tori?
I can start. So, in the past month, what happened in July? So Trustee Alvangus and I went to the Fox Run Gala. That was a very nice event. We supported the music group there, and that was a very nice event to be there, especially then finding out like the purpose of that event, where it's like it donates to a fund where residents support their fellow residents if they fall on hard times. So that's a really cool opportunity there. Saw lots of my former students there serving us that evening. They just kept popping out of everywhere. And the food was good, so a great event there. Then I attended those two Library of Michigan Trustee 101 and 102 webinars. Lots of great information there. And then, as Sue mentioned, I was at the Friends meeting yesterday. Sue stole most of my thunder from my report, so. But I'm happy to let you have that. But just a couple of highlights that I have, as she mentioned, that they are looking for new members, and there were one new member who was looking for information and interested in joining the Friends board, and then one we kind of recruited and came back at last night's meeting, so it was awesome. And Sue's already kind of got her in some possible projects, which is awesome. And then the last thing was just prior to this meeting, I stopped by the Book Nook and got some back to school shopping for my classroom done. So there's a nice check from me in the box for you.
Nice.
But the Book Nook has been doing well. It really got me. It was in July. They made $2,500 in sales, and then this really was the connector was a lot of the books are 50 cents. And some are $1, so that's a lot of books that came in and out, that came out of the Book Nook. So, amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing. Great. Anybody else? I would just mention that I was able to enjoy a couple of the song fests that happened in the last couple of months. They do a wonderful job there, Paradise Park, for the song fest, and likewise, those are well attended. And it seems like, are we also building some connection at Fountain Walk a little bit for some events coming up at Fountain Walk?
We always are open to connecting with all of our businesses. Yes.
But I think, isn't the library sponsoring
Yep.
the
Ladies' night.
the women's
Yep.
night?
We have a girls' night out coming up in September. And so we are working with the Hub and Mary Liederman from 12 Mile Crossing. And we might even look into, some other things in the future as well. So it's great that we can, if we get up there, that means we might be reaching, some new audience with the north end of the community by getting out a little further. So it's exciting to try some new places.
Well, I know that there's a lot of people that go to both events.
Yes.
I've seen them at
They
Fountain
follow
Walk,
us.
and then I've seen them at the Jazz Festival, and then I've
Yes.
seen them at the Song Fest. So
Yes,
they're-
it's very cool.
they-
Yes,
so-
they're very loyal
Yep.
to music. So yeah, they're great.
Anybody else? If not, I'm going to turn it over to Ms. Trustee Bartlett for the treasurer's report.
Okay, the treasurer's report is in. We've had some questions regarding, we do see a large drop in our fund balance of $271. Primarily that's due to a couple of things. One is we have no real recognition of revenue coming in the first month, and our run rate for what we spend in a month is a little over $400,000. So that's going to see a drop. Also, we discussed a little bit before the meeting, we have a question with the city accountants, and that would be on page 45. They've got a line of net of revenue of expenditures. It's about a third of the way down for 2025 and 2026. And that comes in at about $141,000 that hits our budget. So if you see what we spend with the in the month plus that line item, that pretty much accounts for the drop that we saw in the fund balance that we have on 271, which we should get most of that back. We should get more than that back once the millage hits along with the new millage. Other than that, we're still awaiting final, we still need final audit approval of last year's books, which were closed at the end of June.
The audit, we actually have a meeting in August, actually it's next week, where we'll be presenting our audit to the city and working with them. And then the auditors come back and they are having their audit in the middle of September. So we should have it should close out for October. We should see everything in October.
So
That's
two
how
meetings
they,
off.
yeah, that's how they do it. That's pretty typical of the audit process.
So as soon as we as soon as we get back the information, we'll email everybody.
Yes, I'll be happy to.
On what fund, the revenues, expenditures, what the city is hitting us with the 141,000.
I do have a question on page 41. For 272, the net revenue and expenditures year-to-date July 31st. I don't think that should be a negative number.
No.
Should be a positive 1,656.
I'll double check that with Bindia, but yes, and then I can send it out for a change.
I had a couple comments as well on
Sure.
page 41, if we're on there. If you had more, Lori, but we're just on the same page. I think the total revenues in the budget for 271 does not include the 0.2 mils that have been added.
No,
No, it's not.
it does not.
And then in the revenues and expense report for Fund 271, year end, according to this report, it was 14,445 for the good, but in the number that Brian had referred to earlier on the city's expenses, it was 141 to the negative. Those are the two
Right,
inconsistent
that's the
numbers.
discrepancy. Okay.
Now, for whatever it's worth, this number 14,445 was what the expected balance was for the end of June in our last report. And I don't know if that got carried over. And then obviously there's some difference in the timing of the city's report and
Yes.
Lydia's report,
Yes.
but they're not hitting at the same time.
Right. We unfortunately, with us moving to the second week, or the second Thursday, I should say, of the month, it's sometimes before they close out the month. So you're not getting, because they close out on the 10th.
But this is really a number we're getting in August that reflects the end of June.
Yes, okay. So I'll double check.
I understand for
Yeah.
July,
Right.
there's more likely for that to happen, but shouldn't really be happening for June, I don't think, in August.
Okay. Anything else I can help you with?
Any other comments? I only picked up because I knew that Lori was on page 41. I figured I'd put my comments in.
There you go.
But I didn't mean to interrupt you, Lori, if you had other comments.
No, but now that you mention it, all three of those numbers are
Right.
exactly the same, the June 30th numbers.
Okay, so I'll check with her.
Anything else, Brian?
No.
Okay. Concludes the treasurer's report. Director's report. Julie.
Sure. Well, we're coming into September, and as you can see, we have lots of employees to recognize for our anniversaries, years of service. Our first is Mary Robinson, 21 years. She's with our Information Services Department, has been a librarian, and I know you all know Mary. In fact, she'll be here in September to talk about IQ because that is one of her passions, along with also the digital resources she is in charge of. So you will see Mary in September, and we wish her happy anniversary for 21 years. And then we have Dominic Doot, 15 years. Dominic is also part of our iCube team. He's in the Information Technology Department, but he's one of our supervisors for the iCube, so also very much involved, and will also be here in September. So you'll get a chance to see him. Then we have Jill Wasson. She's celebrating 7 years. She's with Support Services as one of our supervisors. And then we have Bindia Raja. She's celebrating 4 years out of administration, and she is our bookkeeper. Emma DeCenso is celebrating 3 years, Information Services. Emma is our outreach librarian. And then we have Kristen Sullivan celebrating 3 years in administration, and she is our HR specialist. We have Lily Kosaka. She's celebrating 3 years. Lily actually started as a shelver and has recently taken the position of an intern. She's going to library school, so we're very excited to now have her in the Information Services Department. And then we have Jason Nunez. Jason's actually here tonight, so we'll wave to Jason. He is also working with the city, but Jason's celebrating 3 years. He's with our Support Services Department, works in technical services. We're very excited because Jason was part of the Student Transition Program 3 years ago, and then we were able to bring him over from the high school to the library. So very excited about that, and Jason's wonderful. He always is so personable and says hello to everybody. Then we have Kelsey Lynn. She's celebrating 2 years. Support Services. Kelsey is one of our shelvers. She works very diligently, especially summer reading, because it's very messy and very busy. Lots of books coming and going. And then Sarah Momini is our new department head for Support Services. She's been with us now 2 years. I know some of you met Sarah because she had walked into this new job and then had the automated material handling system project to take on. So that was definitely an eye-opener for her, and she did a great job under the wonderful supervision of Mary Ann Zermulin. So congratulations to Sarah. And then we have Jacob Dyer, and he is celebrating 1 year. Jacob is also in our Support Services Department and a shelver. So I wish them all the best, and I thank them for the years that they have given NPL. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. You can see September is always a good month of hiring, right? Okay, moving forward, let's see, a couple things I want to point out to you tonight. On page 51, this is an article that was put together by the city, and they actually interviewed Mary Robinson. So great article about her and her leadership, being, as a digital services librarian, but also, one of the key people who started our iCube. And so we're very excited. Some really great programs have come out of this as it relates to accessibility over the last couple years since we've opened the iCube in 2019. And this is really from Mary and her team, the team in the iCube that have worked very hard. So I appreciate Mary giving the city their time and them highlighting her. Let's see, moving along, I did update your Summer Songfest flyer because we did add a September date. So I hope you will continue to join us through September. September 17th will be the MSU versus U of M basket raffle, right, Sue? Right? And then I believe that brought in the largest amount of raffle money of baskets. So I would expect all of you to be there that night. And then page 55, the Friends have put together their Kaleidoscope Fall Series already, so you can see their programming. Soon as I get historical commissions, I'll be happy to add that as well, but they had theirs ready. This is a huge thank you to our wonderful Kathy Much, who works with the Friends of the Library and helps coordinate these programs for the library, so we also appreciate her as well. And then moving on, you are right, President Stirring, because Street Sounds, and we're going to partner with the 12 Oaks, the 12 Mile Crossing, and which is Fountain Walk. There's like 5 names for that place.
Yes.
So we are going to be over there in October, still outside. If the weather is bad, we'll be inside at the hub, but they are going to be outside center, right in the center by the hub, Moot Meat, the Battle Axe place. So we're right in the hub there, and we'll have some great music. It will be 80s music.
Nice.
Yes.
I knew I saw it somewhere.
What's the name of the band? Is it Encore or one?
No, we didn't put the name of the band on there because we didn't know it yet, but the band is Vinyl Rockets, which is very good.
Nice.
Oh,
Yes.
good.
Yes. Other than that, I'm happy to take any questions because you have some of my management team reports as well as statistics. There is a Friends report. I do want to point out that I put some information about their annual meeting, and every year I give them a word that I associate them with. And my word this year was grateful, so you can see that little bit of information on page 87, and I truly am. They are amazing. lets me be creative, but it sure was easy to write all this up because they're fabulous. I'll let you know that they gave generously of their time. They remembered and celebrated 65 years with us. They advocated and shared the MPL story. They took care and supported library staff. They engaged with our patrons. They financed many initiatives to connect MPL with our residents and make us better. They understood and lived our mission of cultivate learning, inspire creativity, and foster inclusivity. And they loaned their talents to me and the staff and our community. So, for the word grateful. Thank you. Any questions?
Any questions? Go ahead.
Okay, this is so weird that I'm noticing this now. But when we do the anniversaries for the staff,
Yes.
my question is,
Yes.
what determines like who gets what background? Because they're
It's-
always different.
Yeah, I know. It's just where they are and where the pictures are taken.
Okay.
So it's not, yeah.
Okay.
It depends, and, sometimes depending what they wear, might
Yeah.
not show up like with a green background or a white
Okay.
or the beige background. So, yeah, just depends. It's nothing
Yeah.
like set for anything.
Okay.
Yep.
Because maybe in the future, and this is not a must-have, but because this is like our personality in a way, but maybe in the future we could consider as part of onboarding like a nice photo taken, so that eventually you'll have like consistent if it's vertical or horizontal, like it'll all look
The
nice
same.
and
Sure.
uniform.
Okay.
But it's not a need to have. It's just a branding thing.
Sure.
I've noticed. And then the other thing is, it kind of popped up when I was reading the packet. There's lots of families, I think, in Novi that probably have in their possession old multimedia. And we have a converting system
We do.
in the iCube, including 8mm film reels.
Yes.
I think a lot of people in the public, it looks like it's being well used, but I think a lot of people in the public still don't know. So I don't know if there's like a collaboration between that and the Historical Commission, because I have a feeling like there's probably lots out there that we're not aware of that could be on VHS, but also I have a feeling 8mm film. It just kind of popped in my head because I need to come in and convert some film for my mother-in-law. But I think it's part of the Historical Commission too. And
To maybe
they
just
can use it. And,
promote it and also,
Yeah.
when they're doing that.
or
Absolutely.
maybe they can learn how to use it too, because I feel like that'd be fun for them.
Yep.
I feel like we're kind of also overdue for another iCube tour as trustees.
So you're going to get a great presentation in September.
Okay.
They're going to cover a lot, and then I'd be happy to. We're going to be hosting our November meeting at the library, and we could do that. We could
Yeah,
set
that'd
that
be
up in
fun.
advance. How does that sound?
Yeah. If the other trustees are amenable.
Sure.
It's just been a while.
Let me double check.
The onboarding session was pretty cool. I forgot what was in there.
You did? Ooh, I take that back. We're not at the library, so why don't I see if I can set something up? Okay, you got it.
I have a request before we move on, I'm sorry.
No, I actually had a couple comments too.
On
so.
page 42, can we put that in landscape? It's just too little.
You can. This came from the city, and I've been trying to figure out how to. I'll figure out a new way to format it because it's not mine. It originally came from the city, and so it's locked down. I can.
This
Yeah.
spreadsheet?
Mm-hmm. Yes. So I will see what I can do with
it's
it.
locked, they won't let you.
Yeah, it's locked to certain things and the numbers in terms of when I use it for calculation. And so when I try to go blow it up for certain parts, I don't always get that successful. So I will definitely look into it for you. Yep.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I just had an observation. In a couple places on the staff reports, they talked about doing things to the website.
Yep.
And I think that's really great.
Yeah.
Was any of that as a result of like the surveys and stuff like that? I just feel like, or just staff decision to utilize it better? Because I just think that's really helpful.
It is, and the Information Services Department, which is our librarians, they are actually going to be taking a deep dive all this year to look at all the links and everything and clean up. So yes, there's a huge effort this year to be doing that. It's also getting ready for the ADA compliance things that we have that are required in April, which Dana is working with them as well. So
Okay.
there's a number of parts that are moving for that.
Yeah, great. And I also noticed one of the comments about library updates before an HOA meeting were very useful.
Yes.
That's really great. So how often are you, or somebody getting out to HOAs? How often does that happen?
No, they come to us.
Oh, they do?
So when
Okay.
HOAs call and they want to rent the room, we give it to them for free if they let us talk for 10 to 15 minutes prior to the meeting.
I
So that's how they get a
see.
freebie out of it.
That's great.
Yes.
Yeah, that's a great thing.
Sometimes they'll take advantage of it, sometimes not. But it's been very beneficial to us to have that one-on-one attention with residents in the community.
Yeah, that's awesome. Cool.
And then each manager has taken, depending on the night that HOAs typically meet, each manager will take time. So they're meeting a different manager in order to give a little bit of a spiel.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
I have a couple questions that are not related to each other, but just, I'm still gonna be playing the newbie card here.
Okay, go for it.
Which I will say, my onboarding, I did not get an iCube tour.
I just assumed you knew everything.
On page 53 for your out and about, what is Novi Cares Food Delivery?
So that is the Novi Rotary. It used to be Feed the Need,
Okay.
it was called.
Okay.
It was renamed, and so that's an opportunity. We partner, the library does, with Rotary. I'm also a Rotarian, but we go out and we're also distributing food.
Okay.
Yeah, and it gives me a chance to get in the community in a different way in neighborhoods, so that's why I sometimes take advantage of it.
All right, my other one is for the youth era renovation.
Yes.
I don't know if it's too early, but do we know the scope, or is that still coming down? Okay, I wasn't sure if it's furniture, are we doing the overhaul that we saw, that Trustee Burke saw elsewhere?
Yes, I hope, so no, there's no scope yet. We're going to be doing some feedback sessions first. I'd really like to engage the community with our families with young children, and really elementary and middle school, because the floor is pretty much for that age group for the most part. But it is that main floor. I mean, we're looking at the whole scope of the whole space. the
Okay.
whole- Yes.
All right.
Yes.
Because I was thinking it was just the corner.
No, I think things will stay, but carpeting is gonna have to be throughout, and carpeting was a separate cost than the actual, design and FFE, which is fixtures, furniture, and equipment, thank you. I'm like, FFE, haven't had that word in a while, Larry, and here we are back again, and you're back. So that'll encompass that, but we did a study on the magazine collection, because we're looking at that very closely to see the usage. And knowing that this won't get started till 27, 28-ish, around that time, depending on how that usage is, will that change that space as well? That's the time to get it all done in one fell swoop if we can. So
Right.
I'd like a few things to be looked at. The two things that I can tell you for sure that I will push when it comes to the floor design is that we look at a large room. So we have a story time room and we have the play area. I'd like to look for a large room altogether so that we can put our story time programming, which has exceeded the story time room we currently have, and we now use the large meeting room for. I'd like to create and blow out a wall and make that a big space, bringing the kids back into the area where the collection is and where they would be anyways. I don't mind them in the large meeting room, but I do have concerns of the main doors and things like that. So I really think it would make a big difference based on how we've grown. Our programming continues to grow and has stayed very, very popular and large. We don't like turning away people, and we love to, invite and have everybody. And if we could have that space, we would be able to accommodate that. The space would look with glass probably so that you can use it when it's not a story time session. It can be used for a play area, so it would be dual and more flexible.
Okay.
And then the other thing would be to, the shelving can be converted, and we would gain a lot more floor space if we went away from the moon shape to straight shelving. And so even though that was very cool and exciting when we were opening, 16 years ago, I'd like to go more flexible and more practical so that we can gain some more floor space.
Okay, makes total sense.
Yeah. Yep, but those are the only two things. Other than that, I really look forward to hearing. We have a lot of families that do travel to other libraries in the communities, and they've seen, other spaces. And so what are they looking for us to bring? Children are way different from 16 years ago when we first opened the building, and so it'll be interesting to hear what that is. I have no idea, and I don't have them anymore to use as guinea pigs. Because I did. I had them.
Julie, you
Yes.
may or may not know this, but Farmington Hills is planning a major
Yes,
renovation,
I am.
including the youth section. So
Yes.
there may be some things there that they know of or have heard of, or
I would recommend and welcome you all to go to Plymouth, Redford, Lyon Township has just opened, Salem South Lyon, Canton. These are all libraries that have redone in the last few years. In fact, Canton is now, I believe, on their third reno of their youth area in the time that we've done our one.
Wow.
Yeah. So, yeah.
Yeah, road trip.
I like it.
So I think it'll be a very, very exciting time, to hear what we can bring that's new and different, to the youth area and for our young users.
It's actually a bucket list item of mine this summer to try and visit those other libraries.
Good.
I have visited Novi Library.
Oh.
So it is still on my bucket list.
Well, tomorrow is our professional development day. We're closed tomorrow. And the staff, I arranged a bus to split the staff, and they're going to go over to the Lyon Township Library and get a nice tour and see, a different library, see how things, processes are done and the differences. It's always good to get, some fresh eyes on something.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
So
fantastic.
it'll be fun. We'll report back on that after tomorrow, but
I
yes.
kind of wonder if we should divvy up
Do
visiting
it.
those libraries and then report it
Yeah,
back
yeah.
to the board. Then it won't seem as daunting.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, honestly, there are fabulous libraries. Even Northville, which hasn't done a renovation in a while, they've got a really cool youth area. I mean, I really recommend you to go and just see something different, because they all match or I think feel in some way a part of their community. They try, and so you'll get that when you visit them. I'm also going to take some vacation time in November, and go down to it's called CORE. It's through the American Library Association, and it's in Kentucky, so I get to see my son but go to a conference. But it is focused this year on youth area renovation and spaces.
What a great
And so I
coincidence.
thought that would be, and then there's also a speaker that I'm hoping to connect with as well, that maybe we can engage with too. So a couple things I hope to bring back that are new. Yeah, it'll be fun.
There's one last thing.
Yes.
So I was looking at the meeting room report on page 83. I know it said, and the note was just that the meeting room rentals are down because of the staff's shortage.
Yes.
I know we are having luck with the librarian positions. That facilities is
We have not had luck, unfortunately. We still have it out, and there are some interviews that are set to take place soon.
Okay.
So we're moving in the right direction, but it has been a difficult part-time position to fill.
Gotcha.
Yes.
All right.
But I
That's just
appreciate that, yes.
That's just my
Yes.
question, if there was any interest.
Yes,
But when-
there have been now. We've seen a better turn of opportunity this time. Yeah.
Perfect.
Yep.
All right. That's all for me.
There was also a reference to shortage in shelvers. Is that 4 hours? Is that
We do.
something that was
We have
new?
a shelver currently, which is Lily. She moved
Okay.
into the intern position, and I asked the support services at that time to just hold off. Let's see, if there's a need to actually fill that position at this time. This would be the busiest time of the year with summer, so if it can be handled, maybe we don't necessarily have to fill that, and we can look at some other things. I always try to do that when we have open positions, is to look at, can we change it? Is there something new? Does it have to be the same? Does the same hours have to be, filled?
Right,
So
right.
currently, it's open for that purpose of just
Okay.
reviewing and looking at it.
Great.
Yep.
I have a couple questions. A lot of these have a 2:25:26 comparison, but then on 80 and 81 and 82 pages,
I can give you comparisons. I can put them in if you want.
That would be great.
Okay.
Just for, the first few months or whatever.
Okay, no problem.
Any other questions or comments for our director?
Thank you.
Okay. If not, we're moving into the committee reports. This is an opportunity for the chair of the committee or a committee member to really report on the committee if they think there's anything that's worth, mentioning to the entire board, but not the time to talk about committee activity if it's an action item later on.
President String, can I ask, do you mind if you can if you could recognize public comment? Sorry.
Well,
I know.
This
Yeah.
is our second opportunity for
Yes.
public comment, but I see nobody here, so.
Thank you. I appreciate you.
I saw nobody, so I skipped the section. It was a section.
Yeah.
Now moving into committee reports. Once again,
Right.
if anybody, any chair of the committee or committee member wants to report on something the committee has done that's worthy of information to the entire board, if it's really coming up later on an action item, I ask you to hold it to the action item later on.
All right. Well, I don't believe we have a action item attached to it, but as a DEI committee, we are looking at trying something along the lines of what we did last year with the accessibility book that we read for patrons with disabilities. Julie brought my attention to this Banned Books Week website, and so we thought maybe since book challenges seem to be still increasing, the Office for Intellectual Freedom of the ALA said that in 2025, there were 4,235 unique titles targeted for censorship in 2025, and that is the second highest, second only to 2023, where they had 5 more titles, unique titles, challenged. And that is a change from the annual average from 2001 to 2020, which they had 273 titles. So you've seen this really large increase. So since this is an issue that's been coming up and public libraries are facing, we thought that a suggestion would be for the board to choose a book that has been challenged frequently. And that's where on page 122 to 125, you'll see all those various book titles. The first 11 are the 11 most challenged books of 2025. And then the remainder ones are ones that I just went through over the last few years. They have on that website, they have a lot of information. So I pulled a few of the others that were really highly challenged. And so our thought was perhaps we could each choose a book to read, and it doesn't even have to be on this list. I just threw them together. So if there was something else that you wanted to find, because there are plenty of books that get challenged, so that maybe for Banned Book Week, which is October 4th through the 10th, that meeting right after that maybe we could have a little bit of a discussion. So anybody have any?
I thought it'd be just a fun activity. We have been very fortunate here in Novi. And you have helped me for many years put together a fabulous
Process.
policy,
Yeah.
for this type of situation. But, there are a ton of books out there, that are being challenged. And for whatever reason it is, I thought maybe it'd be interesting because the librarians and myself, we live this every day. We get asked about it, or we might have people asking for it. And maybe, maybe it's something new that you might don't read. Maybe it's something of a new genre that you'd like to try. But there's so many on there. There's some classics. There's a wealth of them. I'm shocked by some that are on there. I remind myself every year when I look through the list, I'm like, oh my gosh, oh, wow. And then I look back because, I've read many of them and I'm like,
Yeah.
I don't remember what it was, but we all have our own, right, needs and wants out of materials when we read. And that's one of the biggest, I think, opportunities for public libraries is to be providing materials for all readers and for all community members. And so we thought maybe you'd like to try something different. Maybe you've already read one of them and you want to just share, but maybe this is a new title that you would like to read. So it's very open, lots of titles. It doesn't have to be just the 24 that are here, because there is a huge list that you'll find on the ALA website. So you can have fun looking at, different titles and see what might be of interest to you.
And we thought that, two things to just sort of keep in mind, if you opt to do this, two things to keep in mind as we maybe would drive a discussion in October would be an overall impression of the book, and then who is this book targeted for? Like, what is the audience for this particular book?
Yep. Yeah.
So.
So just something fun. And we've said we wanted to do more reading.
Yeah.
We did.
You could count it for next year's summer reading, I would allow you. As your first book of summer reading. I'll give you a pass.
Reading from our audiobooks.
You can
I'm sure
listen.
they are. Yeah,
You
audiobooks
can listen.
count.
Audiobooks are
count.
allowed,
Audiobooks count.
absolutely.
That's right.
That is a book, Mark.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
That's
It
right.
is.
Yes,
Yep.
I agree. So something fun to do. I'm also
yeah.
going to encourage the staff as well.
Oh,
I
great.
mean, a lot of the staff are reading or have read them, but I thought I would just put it out there. Most of the staff are voracious readers. In fact, they put me to shame. They really do. When I start talking about titles, they're reading the new stuff. I'm still way behind. But I think it'll be fun for everyone, to do it, and then they can submit the title and just, what I'd like to do is, if we get the title from you, I would love to just put the board and staff have read these titles. We won't put names or anything to it, but it'd be great for a display. So, I mean, we have, we have about 60 employees, so that's 60 titles, and then we have the 7 of you. Kirsten, if you'd like to join. I mean, Sue, I welcome everyone to read, but we can just put the list together of, our board members and staff have read these materials in the last couple months. So I just think it'll be a great display as well. Yeah. Thank you. All right, Carla.
Should I also bring up the makerspace thing? Did you guys see this?
Page
This was such a
127.
nice. Yes, page
Yeah.
127, that Novi was referenced in this great kudos to accessibility and inclusion, so that was really
That was a
a
big
nice
deal.
thing, and
Yep.
featured in the magazine, so.
Yes.
Yeah,
Great.
so that was nice. All right.
Can I ask a question of the Building and Grounds Committee? But we had talked before.
Yeah.
I think last time regarding the Lakeshore Lending Library and the maintenance contract.
Oh, yeah, that was interesting.
I gave you, you have information in there.
I do, which was great. Thank you, Eva.
You're welcome.
I'm sorry.
I don't have the cost
But
yet.
also alarming.
I don't have the cost of the maintenance. They owe it to me, but this was what the cost could have been had we been charged. That's what,
Okay, so, I mean, that's quite a bit less than a $20,000 annual maintenance contract.
But I don't know if it's going to be 20,000. I gave you just what I budgeted. I haven't heard yet from the company as to what that cost will be yet. So that's about, I do believe it's going to be less than 20. So that's why I want to make sure it's a placeholder.
20,000 was your sort of estimate, guesstimate
Okay.
about
Yeah,
what you
at the
think it
time
might
that they
be.
could give me,
To
but
not
I
exceed,
have,
yeah.
yes, I've had conversations with them and I'm waiting on what that will be.
Okay.
Yep,
That's great.
yep.
So it's not under contract now, then, a maintenance contract?
No, it's not. I mean, we
Still
have,
under the-
it's still under the current 5 years. Yes, we're
5 years.
correct.
Oh, okay.
And when is that up, do you know?
That is up next, we have to do it in this budget coming because it's next year.
Okay. And, I'm wondering, this thing that broke on the kiosk, was that like a big thing? Was this a small repair? Was this like a huge repair? It seemed like it was a huge repair.
It was a huge repair. It wasn't something that our team could do. Our staff couldn't troubleshoot it. And we have to work with the actual vendor and have their people come out to do it. We can't just call
Right.
anyone, right? especially with it being under the current contract.
Is it something like a computer chip or something
It-
like
yeah,
that?
it was-
I mean, you just need the right chip that
We
only
need-
they would
right.
have.
Which they own.
Yeah.
They own the rights to.
Yeah.
They're- Yeah,
No, I'm not
okay,
second guessing that they had to come out.
Sure.
I'm just thinking, oh, if this is just like a little thing, then maybe next time it's gonna be like a $40,000.
Oh,
Yeah, I don't- right.
That's
Yeah.
where my brain was
Well,
going.
sure, yeah, which I'm glad we're under contract, and which is why I want to have the conversation about, the warranty and what we do in the future.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that'll be next year then, right?
It's coming.
Just a few months now.
It's coming.
Yeah,
I
right.
feel like we just put one to bed,
I know.
We did.
and we start the next one.
We literally
So,
did.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. Anything else, Trustee Burke?
Nope,
Okay,
thank you.
you're welcome.
Kat or Brian, do you want to talk about the ad hoc committee?
We really haven't decided anything, so we really can't.
Yeah, there was nothing
There's
decided.
nothing
Okay.
decided.
We had a
It's
meeting
simple.
and
Yeah.
getting more information.
Yep.
Okay.
What was that?
The ad hoc.
The ad
committee.
hoc
There's really
committee.
nothing to report
We
yet.
had,
They're
we
still
had
getting
one
more
meeting, we
information.
made some discussions, but we're
And
waiting for.
I did add a little bit in there, so it's being recognized as well.
Yes.
In your agenda.
Yeah, but we need more information
Yes.
before we.
Oh, God, I did read that somewhere.
Any other committee comments? If not, let's move into matters for library board action. First item is a recommended approval for the library board student representative volunteer application, which is on page 20
And
to 22.
And sorry about the pages at the top.
Yeah,
Some of it,
no, a little harder to find. 'cause a
yeah,
couple
some of
got cut
them
off.
were good, and then I realized it was after I printed that a few weren't. I had to move my margin down.
20 to 22, I'm sorry.
Can I move to approve?
I think it's appropriate to entertain a motion, yes.
I'll second.
It's moved and seconded, do we want to discuss the application?
Do you want to give some background on this process?
Perfect,
All
yes.
So, since the city kind of disbanded like the student representative process that they did, we felt value at the library that we continued to have that role here on the board. So Julie and I sat down back in June to just kind of brainstorm what we wanted to do, what we kind of imagined this position to be. We didn't find a lot of resources from back in the day. I think the last one, one of the goals was find a replacement for Tori.
It was really, it was.
Find
That
no
was the goal. So really, we better change this. So we came up, we adapted this application that I believe came from the city's youth council application, so it kind of mirrored the same spirit that they had envisioned originally, but we kind of made our own little changes to it. So we wanted to also make this student representative position something that the individual could also kind of include their passion and creativity to share the library resources out with our teen population. So we didn't hone in a lot of like restrictions on what they had to do. We wanted to give them some creativity there, but we wanted them to be active library participants. That's why we figured that them having an involvement in the teen advisory board group is definitely something that we need. I think in the past we highly encouraged them to be on the board, but as long as they're an active member. We also thought that them being a part of the Teen Space program, they don't have to be a regular member, they could, but at least participate monthly 1 to 2 times would be beneficial. That way they know what's happening and that they can share that information out. And then also to be attending some of our teen programming and then be able to promote our services, our programs, our resources in a way that the teen population can be reached. So that's what we came up with. That was our goal in terms of what we envisioned this position doing besides being at the board meeting. Figured that they would come up with a presentation each month or some kind of report. We wanted to kind of get away from a position that's just kind of reading the report that's printed in the packet, and try to make it a little more interactive type thing as well. So this is our application we have. So ideally, this position will be 2 years. We're a little late to the game this year, so the terms don't line up, but it'll be typically September through August. It'll be a 2-year term. So they would complete the application, they would complete a 300-word essay, just telling us like why they want to serve in this role, and then they would then list the information as provided. Did I miss anything?
You
Julie?
did not. You did a great job.
All
Good
right.
job,
Yeah.
Tori.
Thank you for that background. Any more discussion?
Is this gonna be, Tori, an editable PDF? Because it sounds like they have to turn in the physical application and essay analog to Julie, not digitally.
You know, I
It
saw
says in
that,
person.
and
Yes, we can have it PDF. We can make it easier.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Okay.
I mean, I can make changes to that.
I just wasn't sure if you did that to kind of see if you could circumvent AI.
Because my other thought is also like maybe if you really want
Yeah.
this position, you
Yeah.
would
You
then
would
take
come
the
and
extra
visit
effort.
and
Yeah,
turn it in.
which-
And-
But I
and
do
meet-
hear
and meet
you
Julie.
with the way they work, you know.
Yeah,
I
they
know.
tend to do all digital.
Yes. I also was kind of worried about sometimes parents doing things for kids.
Oh, gotcha.
It does happen.
Sadly, yes.
I know.
And is this just one? Because previously we had two
Yes,
reps.
we
We're
are
just gonna
gonna
have
do
just
one.
one?
Just
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, just for now. I'd like to start with one
Yeah,
and see how
sure.
it goes, and then if we want to open it up, we will have had a good run through. Yeah.
Sure.
How are we advertising for it?
So I know the idea was that this application will be put out during Teen Space, but then also promoted through the Teen Advisory Board, since one of
Okay.
our requirements that they are involved in both.
Oh, I love
And
it.
then Teen Space staff, they have connections with students. We can also put out there, we can put on our website, we can do social media. I mean, pretty much anything that we would normally do.
Okay.
But Teen Space starts August 31st. We wanted to have it ready for when they started visiting,
School
and we would
year.
have those applications. Our staff then can talk to kids as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, I guess like if they have both options to submit digitally and then
Sure. I can make that.
traditional, then that would be good.
I can do that. And what I'll do is I'll have it come through our HR specialist.
Okay.
Through Kristen, and that way, that's fine.
Okay.
And then
Perfect.
just emphasizing that they just need to be residents of Novi. They don't need to be at Novi High School.
Correct.
As long as they live in the city.
Oh, love it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Good point.
Great.
So, what committee, is there going to be like a new committee or just?
No, I'll work with the student. And I think I'll work with Tori, and we'll get it going and let that person know that there are two of us that person can work with if there's any questions. But really, I'd want the student also to touch base with our Teen Space staff, get to know them, the staff that helps with the Teen Advisory Board. So, I'm leaving it fluid and open because I think it'd be great to see what the student does and how the student reaches out and what the student gets out of going to these different opportunities that we hope that they will connect with and then share.
So you guys are going to be the ones to choose this person?
Yes.
With Kristen's advice or whatever?
Yeah, we were
Monitoring, so to speak.
going to have Tori and myself and then a member of the Teen Space staff. So that's one of the librarians.
Okay.
Yeah, because they might know some of the kids. We won't. And I think that's great.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think it might be fun to maybe open it up if it should be within OMA maybe, but if they want to sit in on a committee meeting, would that be breaking OMA?
They don't vote.
Yeah, they're not voting members.
Yeah, they're not voting
And
members, so
I-
they shouldn't be in that.
Yeah, and
okay.
it's hard enough to get the 7 of you.
No, you're right.
Seriously.
Yeah, you're
At
right.
meetings, to get a student who might have other stuff.
No, you're right.
If
They
you don't
get-
mind.
They get so busy.
Yeah,
so,
if you don't mind, I'd really not like to do that.
Yeah, that's okay. No, well, I just wasn't sure because they might be curious on how we do things.
I think that can be all through here.
Yeah.
And you give committee reports, you talk
Yeah.
about, so, yeah, if that's okay.
Yeah,
like I
it's
said,
totally okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a lot of just wrangling.
I know, especially when
The
they have
nine, because I've got an ad hoc, the 9 committees that you
Yeah.
already have.
Yeah, that's true.
That's a lot, yeah.
The only thing I had a question, because I know this changed since my student rep times.
Yes.
Are the student reps not required to be here the whole meeting? Are they not asked to, or it's up to them?
We have never required them to stay since you left.
Because mine was at the bottom.
Right, I know, and
Those are
that's
some
why,
late nights.
we actually moved it up because they had to go to school. They
Yeah.
had things to do. And so we ended up moving up earlier in the agenda for them, and
Yeah.
we don't require them to stay. If they want to, most definitely they can.
Sure.
But most of them need to go home and
For studying.
work. You know
Yeah.
how, you were one of those very diligent students, and they usually are, and they've got some other things to,
Yeah.
to do.
Okay, yep, just wondering.
It's just,
Any other discussion?
so I'll go ahead and I will include how to do an online PDF is not a problem.
Okay.
Yeah. Great.
Was there a comment or question on this end?
Not with the application, no.
Okay, okay.
I didn't with the application, just to clarify, this is gonna be Tuesdays as opposed to Thursday nights, correct?
Did I put the wrong date in?
Yeah.
Oh, I have it on Thursday nights. I have Thursday nights. Did I put it somewhere else wrong?
Which
No,
page?
isn't it Tuesday nights now? Or is it Thursday nights?
Thursday.
No, we're
Thursday
Thursday
nights?
nights. Okay.
And then the other question was, it says usually 30 minutes of time each meeting.
Usually from 7 to
At the
about
beginning
7:30.
of the
We
agenda.
get to the student, we get to the student
But
report.
that's referring to.
Correct.
So I'm thinking if parents look at this.
Yes.
Come back and, to your point, I don't want my high schooler there for 2.5 hours
Right.
or so.
Right,
Yeah.
yeah, so it's, right, so.
That helps them know that it's not the whole
understanding is-
meeting.
The understanding is 30 minutes or so, unless they want to stay.
They're allowed to leave right after the team
Yeah,
stays.
that commitment is there
Yeah.
for the 30 minutes, yeah. Great question, thank you.
Any other discussion? Then I think that's, ask the secretary to take the vote.
Trustee Checkeye.
Yes.
Trustee Dooley.
Yes.
Trustee Helvangus says yes. Trustee Stirring.
Yes.
Trustee Yu.
Yes.
Trustee Bartlett.
Yes,
And Trustee Burke.
Yes.
Motion carries 7-0.
Thank you, trustee you,
Thank you.
for your time.
Next item for library board action, and this also looks like it would be an action item, is the policy committee's recommendation approval for the circulation policy. I'd ask for someone to move that so we can discuss it.
Move to approve?
I'll second.
It's been moved and seconded. Any discussion on the circulation policy set forth in pages 92 to 99 in our handout?
I just want to, this is the third draft, and we've gone over the specific language on page 98 so many times. But we had a conversation about, and I know it's here somewhere. By the time they have to pay, they've had the material for, was it 12 weeks?
A while, I don't
It's a
remember the exact time, but a while,
Yeah,
Yeah.
not 2 or 3 weeks.
Correct.
so I don't, the policy committee is recommending that we pass this
Okay.
policy.
Okay.
Unless, Brian, I never heard from you, did you have any?
no, I think we hammered that out last time.
Yeah.
Any other discussion?
I think that the updates that were made on page 98, especially like the explanation of what is going to occur, that I think that helps out a lot.
Sarah Momini, who I want to thank, who's
Yeah.
our department head for sports services, her and I sat down and we talked about, what's the why?
Yeah.
And we got to the why. So there we go, yes.
I think that definitely helps.
So thank you to Sarah, because she's been very patient working with me when I call her and say, come up here, we need to continue talking. So she's been great.
You can call her tomorrow and say we got it.
I know, I will be seeing her tomorrow, and we'll be telling her, yes.
Any other discussion? I'll ask the secretary to call the vote.
Trustee Dooley.
Yes.
Trustee Helvangus says yes. Trustee Stirring.
Yes.
Trustee Yu.
Yes.
Trustee Bartlett.
Yes,
Trustee Burke.
Yes.
And Trustee Checkeye.
Yes.
Motion carries 7-0.
And thank you to Policy Committee, appreciate your time on this.
Next item for library board action, and this is also I consider an action item. It's the bylaw committee recommends approval for the changes regarding student representatives. Pages 114 to
Wait.
119 in our handout.
Wait, you missed,
I think
You missed number
there's one right
three.
before it.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
It's
I'm
okay.
three. I'm skipping things tonight. I must be in a hurry to see football.
there a football game on or something?
Yes,
Oh, I'm so sorry.
You thought you were
I
kidding.
was just kidding.
There is, there's a
My
preseason.
apologies. It's the Strategic Planning Committee recommends approval of the strategic planning updates 225 to 226 and the patron survey results, pages 108 to 113. I also consider this an action item, so I would like someone to make the motion so we can discuss it.
Second.
Discussion. Any discussion on the Strategic Planning Committee approval of the strategic planning updates and patron survey results?
Yes, I'd just like to remind the members, we discussed this last week. This is basically you all got a message from me asking for updates. This is a compilation of all those updates, and I think it's in its final form. So thank you to the library staff for putting all this together.
Yes, thank you.
I think there's still a QR code spot, though.
Yes,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
Any other discussion? And I'll ask the secretary to take the vote.
Trustee Helvangus says yes. Trustee Stirring.
Yes.
Trustee Yu.
Yes.
Trustee Bartlett.
Yes.
Trustee Burke.
Yes.
Trustee Checkeye.
Yes.
Trustee Dooley.
Yes.
Motion carries 7-0.
And now to the motion.
There you
Bylaw
go.
Committee recommends approval for the changes regarding student representatives. I consider this also an action item, so I'd ask somebody to move it so we can discuss it.
Move to approve.
Been moved and seconded. Any discussion? Right.
Yes, I've shared this with President Stirring because it came to us as the bylaw committee. My problem with this is the phrase that deals with excessive unexcused absenteeism will result in the termination of the volunteer opportunity. Nowhere else in our bylaws, and in our bylaws, we define how our committees work, we define how our offices work. Nowhere else is there a clause in there saying what happens if a secretary doesn't do their job, if a treasurer doesn't do their job, if the president doesn't do their job. Yet we're putting a clause in here for students. Now, if you go through the rest of the bylaws, there are items in there that are clear for what happens if there's a resignation. It doesn't deal with whether the resignation was asked, whether the resignation was voluntary, or anything else, because all those are done elsewhere quietly. They are not done in the bylaws. If you look at the previous sentence, it says serving September to August, serving 2 terms on positive attendance records and engagements. That's what we're asking of our students. That is, there, and we're asking that further in how we put together the form to apply. If they are not doing that, there are means to say, hey, look, this is not working out. And I don't think we really need a heavy-handed statement in the bylaws to do that. I mean, and you're also keep in mind, you're also dealing with kids who this is their first case of, I'm going to take a shot at civic involvement, public involvement, and we're going to hang on them a thing that you violated our bylaws. I really think that whole statement doesn't need to be there.
And I'm totally fine with that.
Okay.
Can I, if you look under the previous page, under section 2, it says the library board may request city council to remove any member in neglect of duty who has 2 successive unexcused absences from regular or special meetings. So
Yeah, if it's unexcused.
it is
Right.
addressed there.
But there is nothing that defines. Okay, there's if an individual doesn't do this, that, or the other thing. I just think it's very heavy-handed for a student volunteer.
Well,
I just took it
agree.
as similar. That's why I put it in, is from 2 over. That's why I put it in.
Well, I do agree it is heavy-handed.
But I don't have a problem with removing it.
Yeah.
I do see your point of just be above it,
Right.
it talking about, yes,
Positive
talking about that.
attendance,
Yeah. I will share,
Positive attendance representative.
there was a lot of attendance issues, and this is probably one of the reasons why the youth council doesn't exist today.
Okay.
So we do want it to be important. However, the library board has always had very diligent and very involved students.
Yeah, I don't think
I
they've really
think we
missed.
tend to attract, a certain student that might find this of interest to them. So, but I know that would be coming from the fact that there was a lot of absenteeism in other areas and other commissions when they did this. And so it was more work trying to figure out where the kids were and what they were doing than not. So,
Yeah.
which is why I first put it in, with it being section 2. But I have no problem with what it says before that in order for that to stand. Yeah.
Just so I'm clear, Brian, is your suggested change in section 7 referring to excessive unexcused
Correct.
absence?
Yes,
will result-
removing
Just
that.
striking
He
that.
wants
Yeah.
it
Striking that
Yeah.
sentence out, which
Striking
was
it
the added, then what about in section 2, are you okay with the way that reads? Which
Section
really
2
hasn't
is-
been a change.
That really
That
hasn't
has been changed, yeah.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
so you're,
We're
just
just-
so from a procedural standpoint,
Yeah.
your recommendation or amendment to the motion would be to delete excessive unexcused absence will result in the termination of the volunteer opportunity?
Correct.
Okay.
Okay.
Can I ask if that would be a friendly amendment to the maker of the motion and to the seconder of the motion?
That's fine.
Larry was the second.
Okay. Okay, so we are now, we're now looking at a motion to adopt the policy as written, but deleting that one sentence in section 7.
Okay.
Any further discussion?
Yes. Thank you. So we have 2 section 7s as it's listed right now.
The one above would be removed.
It is gonna be removed.
Yes.
Okay, I just wanna triple check.
No,
because-
thank you
yes,
for
'cause it
asking.
didn't-
Yeah,
Yeah,
because it
normally it
has
has
the
a red
mayor in
through.
it, and I'm like, we're
Yes.
not doing that anymore.
Yes,
Yeah, okay.
correct. That will be completely
That'll
removed.
be
This-
strike-
This
strike.
will take the place of.
Okay,
Okay.
perfect,
Yes.
thank you.
Great question.
Good point.
Also, I'm sorry, Larry, you go. The last sentence, through an application process, a volunteer will be selected.
Yeah.
Well, isn't that already, isn't that kind of redundant? Isn't it already stated, the library board through the library may appoint a student representative, blah, 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 blah?
Maybe we should put through the app, director may appoint student representative through an application process.
Oh, we can do that.
And then go into to attend. Do you think, Lori? Because I agree with you.
Yeah, I
Okay.
think that it just kind of hangs out there at the end.
Yeah, okay. Great.
All right. Can you summarize that one again, Mike?
No, that one I missed.
I'm sorry.
I need help on that one.
So Lori, trustee Burke brought up in the
last sentence.
to strike that, and instead in the first sentence, the library board, through the library director, may appoint a student representative through an application process
Oh,
to attend all open meetings of the library board.
Perfect. That,
Okay,
that was good.
Cool. Thank you.
so
Okay.
we're deleting the last sentence in section 7, and we're adding through an application process after the student
Student
representative
yes.
and before the word to.
Yes.
Okay.
Perfect.
I will ask the same thing from the maker of the motion and the seconder of the motion, if that's a friendly amendment.
Yes.
Okay. Okay, any
You got
further
some,
discussion?
uh-oh, I think the grammar police.
Larry,
Uh-oh.
you had your hand
Wait a
We'll go with
second.
Larry
Yeah.
first. yeah.
Are we limited to just one?
Right now, I'd like to. In the past, we've had to, but I'd like to just see how the new process goes first. And then we can bring this back, and if there's an interest, I would be happy to have 2, and we could do that next year and get it moving. But let's just start with it, because this is now ours, we own it.
Yeah.
It's not anything we're doing with the city. So I'd kind of like to see how it goes.
Should we therefore change it to say may appoint one or more student representatives?
And then you're covered.
Because
Oh,
otherwise you're gonna
oh,
have
I
to-
see.
Yeah.
Sure.
But that's-
Great. Oh, yeah, I'll take that.
And the other question was, what if you have a student representative that is excessively absent?
Unexcused, yeah.
So-
So, how would that work right now?
I would be alerting, because trustee U is working with me, I'd be alerting trustee U. I would look for trustee U to bring that to our president in order for there to be a conversation of whether we would let that student go. I think you have to do that. I mean, you're looking for someone to
Be committed.
be committed.
Yeah.
Thank you. So, yeah, I mean, that's why yeah. It's important for them to know that up front. So I think they need to know it's important. Like I said, we've not had this problem before, so maybe we should just see it, see how it goes. We can always revise bylaws,
Yeah.
should we have something of that nature, but, yeah. I'd just like to try one just to see how we're doing it on our own.
If this doesn't give the board or the president the right to remove them, or
Which is why I
Well,
had
I
the
mean,
statement in there.
Yeah, so now we're.
Yeah.
But is there a more discreet mechanism? Because I don't think section 2 applies, because section 2 talks about the council appointed each of us. So
Right.
they have the right to remove them.
Right.
They're not
Yeah.
touching.
Yeah.
So is there a way to reword section 2?
Oh,
Yeah.
where it
That-
states.
Or either
what you
work-
do. The library, yeah, and it would be you as a library board. You would be removing.
Serving.
So that could,
The city council or the board, as the case may be.
it's not the city council. This student is working with you.
Wait,
So
he's
it's-
talking about
Come on,
section
section
2.
So
Oh,
for section 2,
I'm
could you
sorry.
add that there,
Well, that's
since
what
it's
you're
talking about
board
meeting
members
attendance?
there.
Yeah, this is board members.
But can you just change that to be board members or the student representative may request the city council or the library board, as the case may be, to remove any member for neglect?
Well,
Probably
it's
wouldn't want
not
to go to
any
city
member-
council for
yeah.
a student representative.
Well,
I know, yeah.
I
you
think,
need to wordsmith that,
yeah,
but
Right.
the point is to provide it someplace without it being
Right.
so.
could,
But largely, this person is also appointed by, essentially Julie and Tori.
Right, but
And-
Tori's representing the library board for you.
But, I mean,
Yeah.
we're not, they're serving at your request.
Yeah, 'cause-
So you should be able to get rid of them
Okay.
at your
Because
request.
the
That's
library
it.
board's not giving Tori
Yeah.
authority
Yeah.
to bind the board.
So then we can leave it as it is.
I think you can leave it
Without-
as it is, because,
Sure.
and again, it keeps
Okay.
things quiet between,
Right.
between the library director and Tori sitting down and saying, this is not working out.
And then
I don't
we
want,
can
I don't
report
wanna
back.
get to a point where.
I like that.
yeah.
I mean, I don't
At a
wanna get
board
to a
meeting
point
or
where,
doing action,
because
that
we're
would
also
be
having
ideal.
parents and guardians sign these things.
Oh, yeah.
I don't wanna
Yeah.
then sit back there and
Did
say,
you end up with
why did you,
something?
Sure.
why did you have my kid's name
Right.
on a library board meeting?
Yeah.
And let him go?
It's
I just don't,
negative, yeah.
I just
Sure.
don't wanna open,
I see that.
I mean,
I
I see
do.
where this is a positive thing for the students. I wanna keep it for a positive thing for the students, positive thing for the parents, and if it doesn't work out,
Yeah.
quietly
Yes,
move on.
So,
Agreed.
that's a great
So
idea.
then, would that cover it if it's, because it says the library board through the library director may appoint
Yep.
Yes.
a student representative?
library board through the library director, do you want to have
So
a
do you want-
designated board member? Or
No,
just
I
library
don't.
director?
I think what you might want to do is appoint or remove.
Well, that was, I
That's-
was
Yeah.
getting to.
That's what you might wanna do, is put in
what-
both.
What Larry
May
was trying
appoint
to
or
say.
Yes.
remove.
Yes,
Get
yes.
that too. And if we
Yeah.
added after appoint
Yes.
Or
or
remove.
unappoint or remove.
Right.
Remove.
Yeah, or remove. Let's do
or-
that.
Or remove.
Mm-hmm.
One or more.
Yes.
Now, are you comfortable with that, Brian?
Yeah,
Okay, because
Okay.
it doesn't sound so harsh.
yes.
No,
Okay.
Okay.
So
And
I-
then that gives us the opportunity to be working on it.
I
too.
need to get a consensus on a third friendly
We
amendment.
sure do, another friendly amendment.
Okay, first line in paragraph
Do you want me to
7.
reread it when you're
Af-
done?
Well, it would say, "The library board, through the library director, may appoint or remove one or more student representatives
Yep.
through an application process to attend all the meetings." And it would be deleting the last sentence in paragraph 7
Yep.
and the excessive absence sentence in 7.
You really want to go home.
You did
watch
good.
that game,
Yeah.
don't you?
That was
I
perfect.
gotta go. This time I'll remember who made the motion. and
You
who
are
seconded the
good.
motion. Is that an acceptable friendly amendment?
I think it's that suit.
Larry, is that acceptable?
It is, and I would just have to point out the application that we reviewed earlier.
Yes.
It does reference the student is attesting that they understand
Yes,
required meeting attendance.
yes. And I put that in so that they,
Yeah.
yes, okay.
Yes.
Yes, and they'll get a copy of your bylaws as well, so that they understand that they're mentioned in bylaws, so that they're
Awesome.
called out.
Awesome.
Any other discussion? Tori?
All right, this might just be a jargon question, but just to clarify. All right, so about halfway down, talking about their term, it says they serve September to August, serving 2 terms. Is it 2 terms or 2 years?
2 terms.
Each-
Oh,
each
I'm
term
sorry,
is a
it is
year.
2 years, thank
Yeah.
you, yes. 2 years,
Good
not
catch.
terms, thank you. Yes,
And based again on positive attendance.
Runs
Two.
September.
yes, thank you.
Okay.
It is 2 years.
Do you have to have a friendly amendment?
You know what we're gonna ask for, don't you?
Yes.
Can we change the word terms to years? Is that a friendly amendment from the maker and the seconder of the motion?
Yes.
And then here comes the grammar
Yeah, I
police.
was just gonna say, you guys, what I'm actually gonna suggest is we go ahead and approve this, because that's what we're focusing on, is the
Yeah.
student representative part,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
Can we then bring this back next month, and I can just sit with you and do the other stuff too?
Absolutely.
Is that okay? I don't wanna.
Yes. Come meet with me and we'll sit and talk about commas
Grammar.
and
I love it.
punctuation,
I love it.
capitalization.
Should say student representative.
Ooh, I like that. Good catch, yes.
Yes.
Okay, so
I will do that
Want
and
this
we'll
as
bring
a
it
final
back.
draft or a first draft, are you
I
asking?
think.
I think we can bring it back as
Yeah.
done and you would just see it
If
so
it's
that
just
you have
grammatical,
the final.
yeah.
Yes, it would
I can
just
bring
be
the final.
Couple
Yeah,
small things that
Okay.
don't
Okay.
change meaning at all. so.
right.
Okay,
Yeah.
any
And-
further discussion?
So you can approve with,
Yeah.
Okay,
with
okay.
changes.
So the motion is to approve with these changes and some possible grammatical changes. Okay.
All right.
Any more
we're all
discussion?
set. Please no.
Would you please
I
take
would.
the
I'd be
vote?
happy to. Trustee
I'm glad we
Stirring.
have so much fun.
Yes.
Trustee Yu.
Yes.
Trustee Bartlett.
Yes.
Trustee Burke.
Yes.
Trustee Checkeye.
Yes.
Trustee Dooley.
Yes.
Trustee Halvangus says yes. Motion carries 7-0.
Wonderful. Thank you all.
In regard to communication, I just said we got a nice thank you
Yeah.
from one of our patrons to the visit to the library. We got a nice response as well, Julie, but it's nice to see our patrons take the time to thank us and the staff. that
Absolutely.
were very helpful at the appropriate time. There's no closed session, so I'll entertain a motion for adjournment.
So moved.
Second.
Second, show of hands.
I.
Aye.
Aye.
Meeting adjourned.
Thank